Joining me now is Republican Congressman Mike Lawler of New York. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, we know there's going to be a vote for speaker this week, and I want to get to that. But first, I want to start with the attack in Israel yesterday and something you tweeted. You tweeted, quote, "These terrorists have been emboldened by the Biden administration's failed policies of appeasement towards Iran with a $6 billion cash giveaway." Now, this is a talking point we're hearing a lot right now, but I think we all believe in facts. So I just want to give a few of those. This $6 billion is part of a deal to bring 5 prisoners home. It's not U.S. taxpayer money. It's still being held in a secure bank account in Doha, and each transaction will be monitored by the U.S. Treasury Department. Not a cent of it has been spent. Would you dispute any of those facts I just laid out?
No, not at all. But it goes to my point that I raised 2 weeks ago with the administration in a foreign affairs hearing, which is that we should not be trading sanctioned funds for hostages. Obviously, in this instance, we traded those folks that we had been holding in exchange for hostages. And in addition to that, the Biden administration released $6 billion in sanctioned Iranian funds. The problem is, Jen, when you do that, money is fungible. And so Iran is able to shift other resources that it otherwise would not have been able to do to help fund terrorism. They are the greatest, with all due respect, Jen,
I'm going to stop you right there, Congressman, because what you just stated is inaccurate. The funding, Congressman, the funding does not go to Iranian hands. It goes to approved third-party vendors who provide humanitarian support. I did want to ask you, though, Congressman, because the Trump administration also...
with all due respect, Jen, with all due respect, you're not listening to what I just said. The bottom line is, when you are releasing sanctioned funds, that goes to Iran ultimately, okay, whether you want to say it is to purchase food and clothing and other humanitarian relief, the bottom line is money is fungible, and you are freeing up other resources they would otherwise have needed to spend on such efforts. And they are the greatest state sponsor of terrorism, period. And we just have a difference of opinion on how they should be handled. I believe this administration has been weak when it comes to Iran. I think they have tried to appease Iran. They have also tried to force Israel, when it comes to Saudi Arabia, to acquiesce to the Palestinians. And I'm sorry, the Palestinians are still engaged in pay to slay. We just held a hearing on this 2 weeks ago. And the administration has been very weak on enforcing the Taylor Force Act. And this is a real challenge in the region. So to act as though that isn't a problem, I'm sorry, I disagree
Congressman,
with you.
No one's acting like it's not a problem. However, and I think the administration has been clear about their concerns about Iran's actions as well, but it is not money that goes to the Iranian government, which I think is important for people to understand. I did want to ask you, though, the Trump administration did strike a similar deal where they allowed the government to draw on or third-party groups to draw on humanitarian funds that was verified by the U.S. Treasury in exchange for bringing prisoners home. Did you disapprove of that deal as well?
Well, the bottom line at all times in our government is we should not be sanctioning funds and then releasing those sanctioned funds. So at any administration that does that, it's wrong. I just fundamentally oppose that concept. If we are engaged in sanctions, and I've introduced legislation, for instance, the SHIP Act, which would further sanction Iranian petroleum. If we're going to implement sanctions, we should adhere to those. Obviously, we want to bring hostages home, and oftentimes what we have done and what the Trump administration did do was exchange hostages that Iran was holding in exchange for terrorists that we had. But to trade funds, to me, as part of any such agreement is wrong. And I've opposed it then, I oppose it now. And I just think the idea that you're saying, well, the Trump administration did it too. Look, this is
I wasn't validating it,
Congressman. I was asking. We need to be strong.
I was asking
we need to be strong in opposition to Iran.
Well, I think everyone agrees on that, but I think when you're sitting in the Oval Office, whether you're...
I think it's wrong anytime it's done.
Let me finish, Congressman. When you're sitting in the Oval Office and you're making a decision about how to bring hostages home, there's a question if it's between unfreezing this money that could be used for humanitarian aid, doesn't go to the government, or no deal at all. Would you choose no deal? That's what it sounds like to me.
But you have the Iranian regime saying that they're not going to use it the way that the United States prescribes, okay? And so you can sit here and say, oh, well, it's going through Qatar. Well, Qatar also has a relationship with Hamas. So there are real challenges here right now. And what we saw yesterday was a terrorist attack by Hamas, and they are sponsored by and backed by Iran. And so the challenge to me and the question to me as we move forward is how do we handle the challenges we are facing in the Middle East? Appeasement is not a solution. And freeing up $6 billion in sanctioned funds is wrong. I oppose it. And I just think fundamentally that may be a difference of opinion by me and the administration. But I think when you are freeing up funds that have been sanctioned, and money is fungible, you are freeing up other funds that Iran would otherwise have to use on humanitarian efforts among its country. And that, to me, is wrong.
But you would acknowledge that not a single cent of this has been spent, and nor has it been obviously used by the Iranian government, given it's still sitting in Doha.
I didn't say that it was. What I said was, and I said this 2 weeks ago when we had a hearing, that this was wrong. And it is a short-sighted policy that this administration has engaged in. And as I also said, they were pushing for funds to go back to the Palestinian Authority. And I'm sorry. The Taylor Force Act was put in place specifically because the Palestinian Authority was paying people to go kill Israelis. And we put that law in place under the Trump administration to prevent American aid and our allies from giving aid to the Palestinian Authority when they are using funds to kill Israelis. And that, to me, is unassailable, and it's something that this administration needs to take accountability for, that they have not enforced the Taylor Force Act in the way that it was intended to be.